Hey, welcome back to the Brain Soul Success Show, everyone. Oh, gosh, you're in for a real treat. I am with my good friend here, Tiffany Cano. She's an energy healer and the CEO of Highly Perceptive People Academy. She's been getting paid for healing since she was 8 years old. I am sure we're going to hear about that story. She's been guiding empaths, intuitives, and transformational leaders to clear their blind spots, strengthen their boundaries, and trust their intuition. She is the creator of the loved, seen, and heard TV show and will be featured in three upcoming transformational documentaries: Frequency of Miracles, Pillars of Power, and Rise of the Lioness. Known for blending her science and spirituality, she facilitates deep, lasting healing that helps people feel safe, empowered, and open to receiving more love, more money, more joy in their lives. Gosh, Tiffany, I'm so excited.
Yay.
Yay. Welcome. Oh my gosh, welcome to the show. Wow. All right. So we want to find out how you got started. You said you've been doing things since you were 8. How did you know that you were a healer at age 8?
Well, even as a toddler, I could see energy. I assumed everybody could, so I was seeing things like spirits and ghosts, and that was freaky, I gotta say. As a kid, it was scary. I could put my hands on an owie and it'd feel better. And yet, I just knew that I could do it. It wasn't a matter of needing to train, although I have.
Mhm.
I started learning from different healing masters from 13 years onward and have spent, well over $500,000 in training to
Uh-huh.
hone and refine my skills. But there's always been that intuitive gift of knowing what type of healing people need and how to facilitate it.
Oh, that's really cool. So you came with this gift. You came in the world with this gift. And then what kinds of things do we actually do clairvoyantly? What kinds of things do you see? You said you could put your hand on an owie, but what else? Tell us more.
Well, that was when I was a kid, and they were
Yeah.
cool.
Uh, uh,
Adults have owies too. It's
uh,
usually, though, from our inner child wounds growing up. But I can see what's in people's subconscious mind blocking them from success.
mhm,
So, for example, in relation to the inner child wound, if when they were younger, they made a mess and broke something, and mommy or daddy yelled at them, like, what do you think? Money grows on trees, and like really got down on them. Well, that could create an inner child wound of mommy or daddy doesn't love me. I have to earn love in order to make them happy. You
mhm.
know, I'm a disappointment. Like it can create all these various negative beliefs that, unless they're cleared and transmuted, can go and bleed over into adulthood and then mess up
Uh,
relationships, money opportunities, and more.
so very true. Well, then, if you can see those, how do you help people with those blind spots or help clear that?
Well, I just know which technique, or I'll muscle test. Oh, would it be helpful to clear that with my quantum empowerment technique,
Mm,
which is a blend of neuroscience and spirituality and Chinese medicine and
mhm,
essential oils. Um, Sometimes I'll use pranic healing. Sometimes I'll use um, summit transformation or stoner release or one of my various tools, right? Because I have a
mhm,
huge tool belt. So I
mm.
just have a clear cognizance, a knowing of what they need in that moment, and
In the
then
moment.
facilitate from there.
Mhm.
And some healings can be really quick. And, later in the show, if you want, we can even do some neuroscience brain stuff with your
Oh,
subconscious.
oh, that sounds awesome. Yes, let's definitely dive into that. I remember years ago when I took a pranic healing class and I was learning it, and I had some clients come, and I was working with a mom and a daughter, and the daughter was 14, and she was so like intuitive and amazing. I started teaching her the pranic healing, and I had her do a healing on the whole class. It was the
Mhm.
coolest thing, to take someone that young, and I'm thinking of you, you
Yeah.
started at such a young age too, and give them that opportunity, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was maybe 22, 23 when I was invited to be a pranic healing instructor, and I spent my 20s traveling the world with Master Choa Sui to learn and hone and refine, and then, when he passed,
Mm-hmm.
things changed and I was put on a different path, but I still love the technique
You love it.
for certain types of ailments that people have.
No, that's really, really beautiful. Um, and then tell us about your journey of actually becoming more visible, because now you're doing TV, right? So I mean, I'm sure you didn't start out doing that, but we're excited about your
No.
new TV show. Loved Seen Heard TV show is coming up here really big. So tell us about that.
Well, I started teaching as a teen, like meditation, and I had a metaphysical club that I started as a freshman in college, even to bring in. It was my attempt to bring in like-minded folks, and there were a couple of people my age finally, because up until then it was all adults, right? And then who understood. And then I would bring in different healers, for every meeting. And, you know, so that was what I did in college. And right after college, I started teaching pranic healing. And it was just, I would say, between starting off so young and where I'm at now, I've received hundreds of healings on myself to feel
Sure.
safe enough to be visible because it's scary. It's vulnerable. You have to put yourself out there, be willing to be
Mhm.
judged and criticized and have thick enough skin, but not defensive guards and walls.
Mhm.
Just healthy boundaries. Because if you've got defensive guards and walls, then, you know, good things like money and love and great blessings can't even come in because you're so guarded and protected. So it's
Mhm.
been a process to learn how to feel safe
Mhm.
and safe enough to be visible and visible in the ways that were required, whether I was teaching a workshop or facilitating a podcast, hosting a summit, now
Mhm.
being like the star of my own Love Seen Her TV show,
Mhm.
or in these four now transformation documentary movies that will all start coming out in 2026 and 2027.
That's awesome. So you really did have to do a lot of work on yourself because people do ask
Absolutely.
that, to clear all that energy so you can be that visible and stand in your power, right? And you mentioned feeling safe a lot too. So what are some of the themes besides feeling safe that you see that you have to clear for people? There's definitely
Well,
themes.
I try to go to people's core wounds. And so here's the
Mhm.
most common core wounds: not feeling safe.
Mhm.
It's
Sure.
like at the top for
Uh-huh.
almost everybody.
Hmm.
Not feeling loved, not feeling worthy, not feeling deserving, not feeling heard, not feeling
Hmm.
um, valued, not belonging. Like those are probably the most common.
Sure. I see the
And
same thing.
so
Hmm.
and so when those are healed, it immediately ripples out to every single area of their life and affects their money, their health, their relationships, and their spiritual connection.
Yes, absolutely. And I see the same thing. That's how I created my whole system, right? You've
Hmm.
got to do a multisensory mind, body, spirit, energetic field at the same time. Otherwise, it doesn't stick. So, my example is you can have somebody do maybe Reiki on you and it's wonderful and you feel really good. But if you're not clearing those core inner child wounds and doing some other work with it, it feels like it takes longer, that it doesn't stick all the way. So I
Hmm.
guess I should ask that question, and then I want you to lead us through something here because I'm super excited. How do you make it stick? Because there's a lot of people who go for different kinds of healings. There's amazing healers out there. Everyone has their own awesome expertise and gift, and we want to honor that, right? For sure. Because I love this whole world too, Tiffany. But how do you feel like when you lead people through things? um, that it's going to stay, that it's going to
Well,
stick.
first off, before I even accept them
Mhm,
as a client, I'm tuning in to see, are they open and receptive to the healing? Do they
mhm,
have enough
mhm,
good karma for that goal? Do
mhm,
Are they willing to do the inner and outer work to
mhm,
accomplish that? I
mhm,
mean,
mhm,
do they have the type of support and environment that will facilitate success? Like, those are some really key elements
mhm,
to
mhm,
having someone be successful. And
mhm.
then after all those boxes are checked off, right?
Uh-huh.
Then I'll also see, well, about how many sessions might this take? Because
Mhm,
I like to do the deep core work. So if I am having one on one clients, it's in my 1 month Yes to Healing package, my 3 months Upgrade and Expand package, or my 6 months Magnificent Life. So there has to be enough of the right kind of healing
mhm,
to go deep enough for it to be long lasting.
mhm.
I also, set the intention that, completely and permanently, and that the healing is continuing.
You know what? We want to go back for just a second. We cut out for a minute. I heard set the intention. So this is a bookmark here
Set
for
the
Rob.
intention. Okay.
Okay.
Set the intention that the healing energies and blessings are absorbing deeply, completely, and permanently,
Yes.
and that the healing is to continue.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Because everything is intention, right?
Mhm.
We're so aligned. It's so cool. Um, yeah, it's so, so, so cool. So I know you do, a lot of work with people, and even in groups, you've done some group work too.
Yes, I
So,
have my embodiment program for conscious creation, love, and empowerment, and we'll pick a, s- topic and do a
mhm,
deep dive on it, like 3 months just on boundaries, and 2 months on I am worthy, 2 months on I am safe. Where we're
mhm,
doing sessions every week. That
mhm.
me and my team of coaches and healers that I've personally trained help facilitate these weekly classes. And so based on who's in the class, I build the series around you. I take your requests of what
Mhm,
you want to do a deep dive on, and
mhm.
then I create the environment and the healings to support that.
Cool. Very similar. We do the same thing,
Yay!
but differently, right? That's what the cool thing is there's lots of different ways and different doorways in, to really making that happen for people. So I know you said earlier you could lead us through, an intuitive healing and tune into our audience here. Would you be able to do that? Lead us through something right now.
Yes, I would love to do something experiential. So, um, intuitive healing would be a little bit different than what I was actually thinking, which was
Okay.
doing some neuroscience
Oh,
because this
absolutely.
is the
Do yes, do yeah.
brain show. So,
Yes.
because I got
Yes.
multiple tools. So, we'll do we'll incorporate summit transformation. So we start with a positive present tense goal statement, an area of your life that you want to improve, whether
Okay.
it's your business, your health, your
Mhm.
finances, your relationships. Go ahead and write down a positive present tense goal statement.
Okay.
So, what area in your life would you want to work on?
I'm working on my health right now, so I would say I'm healthy and whole in all aspects of my being.
Beautiful. Let me hold on.
Mhm.
So when I muscle test it, it tests weak, meaning that you don't yet own it.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
when I muscle test, like, is this the best goal for you to work on right now? It's a yes. So
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So everyone at home, you got that? You have your statement written down. Let me just do a muscle test for the group. Okay. Test week and also test that that would be a good one to work on. And remember to keep it simple. I actually saw a couple of you, maybe 23% of you, had this really long run on sentence.
Mhm.
Keep it short, keep it simple, one thing.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's going to get all jumbled in your brain. So just short, simple statement,
Okay.
present tense. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at everyone who was writing it down and I was like, most are good. And okay. So for this one, it's really easy. You're going to cross your arms at your chest and you're going to repeat mentally the goal statement that you just wrote down over and over in your mind for the next minute or two, and your eyes will be closed. Okay. When you're ready, uncross and recross so the other arm is on top. Continue mentally, silently repeating your goal statement with your eyes closed. Okay. Next, put your hands in front of your chest like this and start tapping your fingertips together. So it looks like there's an energy ball between your palms and your fingertips are just tapping, tapping, tapping. And as you do this motion, continue to repeat the same goal statement with your eyes closed. No more tap, just touch. So just hold. And it still looks like there's an energy ball between your palms. And just hold and continue repeating the same goal statement. Excellent.
Hmm.
If you have water nearby, drink a sip of water. Because when we do um, these types of technique, it heats up your brain and can make you dehydrated. So, you know, we want we want these new neural pathways, but it also, you know,
Mhm.
creates some friction and heat. So drink up. All right. Now
Let
let
me
me
also say this. If you're listening on the podcast and you want to see this, hop on over to YouTube. We crossed and touched, right hand on left shoulder, left hand on right shoulder. So that's the first action we did. And then we switched it. This is one of the mind gems. So this is one of the mind gems that I teach too. It's a whole set of 12 exercises, same motion, same motion. And then this is the electrical body. So if you're familiar with that, but we tapped it, we did something a little different with it to create those neural pathways that Tiffany's teaching us here. So again, I want you to hop on over to YouTube if you're confused about how you're supposed to hold your hands. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Tiffany.
Okay, so now let me muscle test for the group. Okay, your goals now are testing strong. So high 10, good job. You
Yay.
created some new neural pathways for success. And the final step is, what is an action that you can take to anchor it in further? So for example, if it was a money goal, maybe it's an action of making some cold calls,
Mhm.
making a social media post, sending out an email, reaching out to past clients. If it was a health goal, perhaps it's, doing some self-healing, going on a walk, eating healthier.
Mhm.
But pick something that you are going to do today or tomorrow. Okay. We want to
Okay.
start anchoring it in right now.
Mhm.
And then we did brain mapping before and after. There were a series of studies and it showed changes in the brain. And funny enough, haha, there was a direct correlation between how diligently people did their action afterwards, directly correlated to how successful they were with this goal. I mean, we have to do the inner and the outer work.
Right.
We really
Right.
want to thrive.
Yes, absolutely. Such great advice. Such great advice. Wow, that was powerful. Thank you for that, Tiffany. Wow, I hope you guys all felt that. That was cool. Look how simple that was, right? So that's something you all can do. You can all do at home too. And like Tiffany said, you got to do the inner part and the outer part. So you got to do
Mhm.
the action step afterwards, right? You got to do that for sure to make it stick, to make it stay for yourself too. I know you do a lot with manifesting as well and money talk and prosperity. What are some of your beliefs about helping people attract and money's just energy. I don't know. I believe that. Do you believe that?
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, if we have beliefs
Mhm,
around, I'm super prosperous, money comes to me easily, I'm worthy and deserving of abundance. If that is what your conscious and subconscious is vibrating, guess what? That's what you're going to receive. But if
mhm,
you have scarcity and I'm not enough and not worthy and the other little gremlins, then your ability to attract it becomes less
mhm,
or not at all, even in some cases. So we have to set our inner radio antenna to the vibration that we want to also attract, because
mhm.
that's what we're.
So that's what you said. So we want to set our inner vibration to what we want to attract. And there was a second part of that. Can you repeat that?
I don't know. I was just in the flow.
Ah,
I don't remember what
that's okay.
I
That that's okay. I totally get it because I believe that too, and that's what I've been practicing for years. And so it sort of just comes now because I'm holding that intention and such strong energy around that,
said.
right? So then people just reach out and be like, "Hey, I want you to be my mentor." And I
Yeah.
didn't have to do anything, because it's just a vibration and because I've been working on it for so many years.
Yeah, I've had,
Yeah.
I would say the last 3 clients that
Mhm.
I enrolled to work with me said, "I don't know where I saw you on the internet, but I knew when I saw you, I needed to work with you. And I didn't even know what we were gonna work on, but I knew you were the person to help me."
Mhm. Yep, absolutely. And that's good. Again, there's a lot of different people out there working in different ways with people, and people are going to resonate with different healers,
Mm.
coaches, mentors. We have to sort of follow our own gut or intuition about what's going to work, what's going to work for us and encourage people to do that. How do you help people increase their intuitive abilities?
Through a couple of things. One, we need to cleanse their aura because it's like,
Mhm,
if you're driving a car and your windshield is muddy, your ability to see the road is affected. But when you go through the car wash, now all of a sudden you can see the road clearly. So we have to clean your aura thoroughly and
mhm,
continuously, actually, because every time we think a negative thought, it tends to dirty your aura again, at least temporarily or partially. And so it's cleaning the aura, but it's also, I'll give certain blessings to
mhm,
help activate the chakras that are connected to your intuitive faculties. And I also teach people the difference between lower intuition, higher intuition, heart intuition, and they can have better discernment about the voices because the loudest voices are usually one of our ego personality voices, or like the inner
mhm,
child throwing a tantrum, or our inner victim feeling afraid and helpless and weak,
mhm.
or a bean counter being worried about, well, how much is it going to cost, you know? And that's not our soul. Our soul speaks to us with whispers. The divine is more like the
Mhm,
whisper, but we have to get clean enough, quiet enough, and attune our inner ears and, spiritual eye to be able to hear and see and feel those divine messages.
And how would you suggest somebody do that then? I
Reach
mean,
out to me. Call
no,
with Tiffany.com and we can go
well,
deeper.
I love that because there's different kinds of intuition and also those whispers. People aren't listening to those whispers, but they don't get quiet enough to hear them. So it's finding that space of time to get quiet enough to really listen and really hear, what your intuition is telling you.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who
Yeah.
are afraid to get quiet because
Mhm.
the voices that they hear are oftentimes those little, being hard on themselves, gremlin little voices, and
Mhm.
they then they feel bad about themselves. But
Mhm.
when your aura is cleaner and when you cultivate a habit of it's safe to be still, I'm comfortable with the peace of it.
Mhm.
And actually, I yearn for it because that's when I can feel the presence of God much deeper.
Mhm.
Then people start wanting that. But it's not instant. It happens over
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
So, like my developing third eye program, that's over, I think I did it over 7 weeks.
Mhm.
Different theme, that I
Mhm.
would take people through to cultivate their intuition and be able to use that discernment so that they got a muscle of, oh, okay, this message was this body part. This message was from an angel. This message was from my higher soul. This message was from, my
Mhm.
heart, right? And
Mhm.
then you can trust yourself.
Mhm. That's a big word you just said, because I know I always have to clear blocks around trust,
Hmm.
feeling safe and also trust. And I
Yeah.
always think about how so trust and worry are opposite. Here's trust, here's worry. And you can't be halfway. So I'm showing a pen, and the top of the pen is trust, the bottom of the pen is worry. And you really can't be halfway between. You're a little bit worried, a little bit trustful. No, 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 no. You're either one or the other, right? So, so trust, and that takes some time, right? Sometimes there's layers
Yep.
to peel off around that inner trust.
And sometimes we
Mhm.
have to clear out negative family legacies or
Mhm.
negative imprints around not trusting self or others, or not trusting God, or not trusting
Mhm.
that, you can manifest the life of your dreams or the relationship of your dreams. Like all that is just a matter of reprogramming your conscious, subconscious, getting your whole mind, body, and spirit aligned that, hey,
Mhm.
if I know with clarity and have that discernment, I can build the trust muscle much easier and then feel safer and more comfortable and confident to take that divinely guided action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm thinking of when I teach muscle testing or pendulum too. It comes down to trust.
Mhm.
And there's things in the way of that sometimes for people,
When doing
ancestral patterns or whatever it is, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And when doing muscle testing and pendulum work or any kind of scanning to get an answer, you
Mhm,
have to let go of your egoic wants and desires.
mhm,
Because if you're really
mhm,
attached to something, attached to an outcome,
mhm.
you might not get as accurate of a read. So you have to be
Sure.
willing to get empty, to get clear, be unattached to
Mhm,
the answer.
mhm.
And that also takes courage.
Yes, absolutely. And that's when they come. That's when the
Yep.
answers come. It's an act of letting go, right? Letting
Hmm.
go and surrendering to that trust to that higher power for sure. Wow. Hey, this has been awesome. I mean, I just really love what you're doing and thank you so much for sharing with us. I want to find out a little bit more about, Tiffany when she's not working. So, when
When
you're
I'm
not
not
when you're
working,
not working, what are you doing?
I'm meditating a lot. I meditate, morning, night. Um, I love doing all day meditations or even a couple days of meditation. I have a garden that I go out into, an organic garden with delicious fruit and some veggies. I'll play with my chickens. I do a lot of service at Self Realization Fellowship, and you know, so I help out there a lot.
Mhm,
Um, I videotape their, Sunday services. I'll do cleaning and service day and various things there. Um, but I'm very introverted by nature,
mhm,
yet when I'm
mhm.
working, I have the capacity to still people.
Sure.
But my inner nature would rather be in my meditation cave.
Uh-huh. Don't you find that with a lot of healers? They will tell you they're introverts, even though they might be. I mean, I'm out there too, right? I'm an extrovert, but I'm not an extrovert fully. I have to have my downtime. You've got to have that meditative, peaceful time away from the world, away from people. At least that's how I view a
Mhm.
lot of healers like myself and you. It's interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I just love and serve. I don't even consider what I do work per se because it's just love and service. So
Mhm.
there's really no difference whether I'm helping a client, sending out a marketing email, or playing in my garden. Like it's just love and service.
Yes, yes, we're so similar. We're so similar. Um, I give banana peels to my roses. I kind of throw them out there and then I'll go bury them later. And I got the most beautiful roses and I don't have to do anything but give them banana peels. Water
Uh-huh.
them
I
all,
I
you
I
know?
put my banana peels in the Vitamix with some water, and
Uh-huh.
then I'll dump the banana water and on, the ground.
On the
Yeah.
ground? Yeah, see, look at that. How awesome. How awesome is that? Gosh, all right. Um, well, a couple things still. Tell us how people can, I know you have a free gift for everyone here.
Yes, I have a ton of content, but I thought for your guests, maybe what would be even better is if they can have some one-on-one time with me,
Mhm,
where I explore what is in their blind spot in their subconscious that's blocking them from success.
mhm,
So you can have 15 minutes of Tiffany time
mhm.
at callwithtiffany.com,
Okay.
callwithtiffany.com. And, I'll see what's getting in your way. So you book it on the calendar, you fill out a client form, and, you know, I'll help you as best I can.
Mhm,
And then, for those of you who want to watch my Love Seen Heard show, go to loveseenheard.tv and you'll get all the information, but it airs Monday nights at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Samsung, LG, uh, a bunch of places, but you can see them on the Love Seen Heard That TV.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we get to tune into TV too, and you get a free, free little 15-minute session here with Tiffany. So you want to take advantage of that. We'll put all those in the show notes for everyone here. Um, and finally, Tiffany, what is a brain tip that you can leave our audience with?
Hmm. Whatever you are thinking, have the discipline, which I know can sometimes be a scary word in and of itself, have the discipline to train your brain to think the most conscious thoughts possible. Because whatever you're
Mhm.
thinking, and this is, what I learned from Master Chokruk Sui, like whatever you're thinking
Mhm.
repetitively, continuously over a long period of time, you tend to manifest.
Absolutely.
So
Mhm.
let's make it an empowering, conscious, uplifting
Mhm.
thought, which will then ripple out to the rest of your life.
Mhm. Beautiful. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Tiffany,
Oh,
for
can I
sharing.
give one more? Can I give
Yeah,
one
give
more?
what? Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Here's my favorite question to live by. Okay.
Okay.
Depending on if I need to say something or take action on something,
Mhm.
I either ask myself, what would love say or what would love do? And then I listen, well, what would love say?
Mhm.
What would love do? And based on that answer, I take the action because when you ask a question, the reticular activator in your brain is going to go
Mhm.
out like a Google search engine and find the answer to it.
Mhm.
And so, like, even when I was thinking about these movies, when I asked what would love say, it was do it. So, you know,
Oh,
that was the
that's good.
essence.
Yeah.
So I got out of the fear place
Mhm.
because that's not love, right?
No, it's
What would
not.
love say? What
Mhm.
would love do?
Good questions. Oh, awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your brilliance with everyone here. I'm really looking forward to continuing to co-create, some things here coming up with you too, Tiffany. So thank you so much for being a part of the Brain Soul Success Show. And remember, everyone, follow your heart, but take your brain with you.